So in your testimony, you noted GAO has committed to build on existing evidence with its own modeling to calculate a more precise estimate. Can you talk about that? How do we refine our estimate, and what would be the barriers in refining that estimate?
Well, first, the Labor Department for a number of years has what's called the acronym's BAM, Benefit Accuracy Measurement Program. So they estimate a national fraud rate and a national improper payment rate. Yep. So far, they've not measured the improper payment rate for the Pandemic Unemployment Insurance Program. That was the one for self-employed people, a brand new program. We all think that the fraud rate's higher for that program than probably the more traditional unemployment insurance program, because there was allow for self-certification rate. So what we're trying to do is to look at that program in particular. We'll see what the Labor Department comes up with their estimate, which is due this year, and then we'll do some sampling of that particular program. We're going to look and do some modeling of other areas. So we're going to take a modeling approach. We're also going to try to sample some of the estimates. Yep. And it's important to remember that our estimate of $60 billion is the low end.
Correct.
We've said that that's a low end. We're working on a higher rate now.
So when do you think you can have a more accurate number? At what point?
I mentioned earlier late this summer.
Late this summer.
Late this summer. If we do it earlier, I'll obviously let you know. Yep. But I think it's important to note that there are a lot of numbers out there, yep, but they're all bad.
I hear you. An accurate number would be wonderful. Then we know what we're dealing with, right? So another question. So I come out of the state of Iowa. I was chair of Ways and Means. I handled unemployment, the tax tables and stuff like that, understanding the nuances of unemployment tax. So when I look at empowering state auditors, I really think we can do this. I think we can use state auditors, but we got to empower them.
Good afternoon, friends. Happy Saturday to all of you. My friends, I have a big update. There are new deposit dates for monthly checks, and the Social Security Administration has confirmed that eligible seniors and retirees will receive double payments next month. And as inflation continues to rise, many are now debating whether future stimulus checks should go out to a more targeted group of people. Friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video to hear about all of the new details. Also, to say thank you for being part of this community and for being here every day. I will be announcing 2 winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaways, my friends, simply click and like several of my videos, and then do comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. My friends, the more videos that you watch and then leave a comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. Although the inflation rate dipped for the 7th straight month, year over year in January, the Consumer Price Index increased significantly, 0.5%, from December to January. So with inflation not falling as fast as the Federal Reserve would like, and Americans still struggling to afford even the most basic necessities, millions of Americans are urging the federal government to consider additional stimulus checks for 2023. After 3 economic impact payments were issued by the IRS to qualified Americans, many individual states stepped in and used surplus budget funds to provide additional relief in the form of stimulus checks and tax rebates to their residents. As Go Banking Rates previously reported, 62% of Americans polled said they support more stimulus checks this year. Although stimulus supporters often say that inflation checks do not make as much of a difference as critics claim. Flooding the country with more cash might drive inflation up too quickly. Speaking to Forbes, expert Nicholas Creel noted that current inflation is being driven by supply issues and fuel prices. With relief checks, recipients normally spend their checks quickly on goods and services. It creates an unwelcome aggregate demand. Others have said that with demand already high, stimulus checks might not actually benefit households who are paying more for goods due to the aforementioned inflation. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts on this? Should the federal government provide us with another stimulus check? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. The Fed is expected to make another rate hike announcement next month, while its benchmark interest rate currently sits in the 4.5% to 4.75% range. That is the highest level in 15 years. So it's becoming more expensive to borrow, even as stubborn inflation keeps prices high, and Americans are feeling the great strain on their retirement savings. According to a 2022 survey, 54% of Americans say they have stopped or reduced retirement savings due to inflation, and the Nationwide Retirement Institute found that 4 in 10 older Americans are delaying retirement in the midst of challenging economic conditions, double those who are pushing back retirement in 2021. The Fed is raising interest rates in order to combat persistent inflation, which clocked in at 6.4% in January. Fed rate increases are likely to continue in order to bring inflation down to their goal rate of around 2%. The Fed expects the rate will hit 5.1% this year, and a recession remains a strong possibility. A recession is typically characterized by significant decline in economic activity, rising unemployment levels, and low consumer demand. While GDP rose in the third and fourth quarter of 2022, and unemployment remains low, high prices and declining real wages are increasing the likelihood that consumer demand will drop, and then a recession will begin at some point later this year. That said, recessions have lasted less than a year on average since the Second World War, and many economists are expecting this one to be relatively mild. Soon-to-be retirees might have some concerns, especially if the value of their IRAs has dropped with the stock market. Average retirement savings have plunged by nearly $10,000. Supplemental security income checks are typically deposited on the first of every month, unless the first falls on a weekend or a holiday. According to the SSA schedule of Social Security benefits for this year, SSI recipients will receive 2 payments in the month of March. If you receive Social Security before May 1997, or if you're receiving both Social Security and SSI, then you will receive your Social Security payment on March 3rd and your SSI payment on March 1st and March 31st. Because of a quirk in the payment schedule, SSI beneficiaries will receive 2 payments in March, June, September, and December, while no payments are deposited in January, April, July, and October. This happens when the first of the month lands on a weekend or a holiday, so the extra payment can be considered a payment advance for the next month. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Thank you so much, friends, for being part of this community and for joining me here every day. Friends, to say thank you, I will be announcing 2 winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter the giveaway, my friends, click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. My friends, the more videos that you watch and then leave a comment on, the greater your chances, my friends, of winning the weekly giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.